here to discuss on a very important issue on a series that was aired on the 4th of July on one of the most difficult political assassinations that has perhaps taken place in the country till now. And it goes by the name The Hunt, Rajiv Gandhi Assassination. As one of the key officers who led the investigation, Mr. Amod K Kanth will be addressing the serious inaccuracies, distortions and defamatory portrayals of the concerned officers and of course the CBI as an apex investigation body in the series that have raised major ethical and legal concerns. But before we proceed, I will quickly take a minute to give a brief profile of Mr. Amod K Kanth. Mr. Amod K Kanth, a retired IPS, is known for his illustrious and eventful career. He has served as DCP Delhi, Crimes and Railway, and later as DIG. Owing to his vast experience in handling terrorism and sensitive matters, he served as an officer on special duty, OSD, to the Minister of State for Home Affairs, Mr. Kanth, during Prime Minister Chandrasekhar's tenure when Tamil Nadu was brought under the President's rule in 1991. He joined the CBI as DIG on 1st of May 1991 and was entrusted with the responsibility of Rajiv Gandhi Assassination case the day after the assassination took place, that is on the 22nd. Mr. Kanth continued to be in CBI till May 1995, handling several high-profile and sensitive cases, recognized nationally and internationally for investigating some of the most complex crimes of his time. Mr. Kanth worked on major cases such as the Lalit Market, Arjun Das and Rajiv Gandhi assassinations, along with transistor bomb blast, Hawala scam, Harshad Mehta, bank scams, etc. He is also a recipient of the President's Police Medals for Gallantry, Meritorious Service and Distinguished Service. Mr. Kanth is widely respected for his bravery, investigative acumen and leadership in complex law and order situations. Apart from having a distinguished IPS career, Mr. Kanth is also a committed social development leader and the founder and mentor of Prayas Juvenile Aid Center Society and allied organizations. Coming to the series, The Hunt, and the reason for us being here today. Based on the assassination of the former Indian Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi in 1991, The Hunt, the Rajiv Gandhi Assassination Case web series is a political crime drama that reconstructs the intense investigation of the case. Set in the tense aftermath of the suicide bombing, the series follows special investigation of CBI as they race against time to uncover the network behind the sinister plot. What's disturbing is the use of actual names coupled with distorted facts, which is not only misleading but also risks defaming the reputation of individuals who have served the country with integrity. While the series claims to be based on true facts and includes a disclaimer, I quote, "Certain characters, institutions and events in the series are fictional and have been used for cinematic purpose and for dramatizing the performances portrayed in the series," unquote. It simultaneously uses the real names, designations and even personal details such as that of Mr. Amod K Kanth and his wife without taking any consent or without consulting them. When real individuals, particularly those who held key responsibilities in a case of such national significance, are portrayed on screen, it becomes imperative to present their roles truthfully. The dramatizations undermine the legacy of dedicated officers, some of whom are no longer alive to defend themselves, and erode trust in the institutions that have upheld the law during a national crisis. On July 4, 2025, when the series was released, and people saw that it portrayed Mr. Kanth by his name, role and character in a misleading and damaging light, friends, colleagues and relatives who viewed the 7 episodes very religiously were very unhappy by the series' factual distortions and offensive depictions. The series raises serious ethical and legal questions, unjustly maligning Mr. Kanth and by extension tarnishing the image of officers involved, particularly those of the CBI, a premium investigative agency. Numerous individuals have approached Mr. Kanth since then, expressing concerns over how certain scenes, including the use of third-degree torture, unethical handling of authorized arrest, frequent use of abusive language, and the portrayal of chain smoking attributed to Mr. Kanth have severely impacted his public and professional standing. These depictions have caused significant personal and professional harm, presenting a defamatory and disgraceful narrative. Moreover, the series broadly discredits CBI officers by depicting coercive and unlawful investigating tactics, including threats of rape against accused persons, grossly misrepresenting the professionalism and ethics expected of such an institution. In light of the above, it is imperative that the creators, producers and distributors of the series take full accountability for the harm caused. The fabricated narratives that I have mentioned have caused significant personal and professional harm and shall be further pointed out by my colleague Ishita.
With the key points to which Mr. Kanth has objection to with regard to the web series, let me inform you that Mr. Kanth has already issued a legal notice to the makers of the web series The Hunt under section 356 subclause 1 of Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita. The section 356(1) of Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita states, whoever by words either spoken or intended to be read, or by signs or by visible representations, makes or publishes in any manner any imputation concerning any person intending to harm.
परफेक्ट होगा फिल्म आपको पढ़ नहीं है। अमोद के पास मिस्टर गांधी के assassination केस को सॉल्व करने का एक्सपीरियंस है, which is also politically charged case, Indian assets. You are a bloody liar. मैं झूठ बोल रहा है। हमारी नानी कहा करके कंधे में बिठाओगे तो कान में मुतेंगे साले।
हाँ, आजकल घर पे सिगरेट बंद हो गई। रेखा भाभी आई है।
हाँ है।
छोले कुलचे खाने के लिए मैं कुछ भी कर सकता हूँ।
That's the lady. I am sitting over there.
This will never happen in any movie. मैं पहले देख चुका हूँ।
यार हूँ।
We are killers of Rajiv Gandhi. Shown like this.
Thank you. Over to Mr. Amod K.
Makes my task very easy because I need not explain what is objectionable. I think these video clippings are not the end of it. There are many more like this. First of all, let me clarify that Central Bureau of Investigation is a different cup of tea. Central Bureau of Investigation is not like any other police agency in the country. CBI has a method, has a process which is respected nationally, and that's why probably each and every one, there is any serious crime, any serious problem, they look for CBI. This is impossible in CBI. It doesn't happen in CBI at all. And of course, number one. Number two, SIT was a very heavily guarded place. The SIT was in a place called Maligai. Maligai was a building which is shown in this entire episode in a big way. It's a big building, it's a big house, which was specially hired by SIT for SIT. Nearly 300 people were there in that building. It was guarded by 2 companies of CRPF. All the time, Intelligence Bureau officers, RAW officers, and variety of agencies used to be there. And whatever has been shown inside Maligai, which is totally impossible. So this is what it is. So the distortions being shown, the distortions in the storyline, the entire situation where the third degree is being applied like this, the worst kind of third degrees are being shown here. I very strongly dispute it. CBI disputes it. I have spoken to Director CBI himself, and all these facts are being connected to him. So obviously, I need not talk about these things which I have done. Friends, along with me, Amitabh Shrivastava, I am very thankful to him that he has organized it with my friends Eshita and Nivedita and all of you. I am thankful to Manik Sabharwal. He is a very important person sitting here. General Manik Sabharwal, he was nationally known expert on explosives in 1991 as major. And then he was especially seconded to our body. We worked together. Within 2 to 3 days after the incident, he was there with us, and he retired as a general in the army and sitting here. He will tell his own story. How did he see the entire investigation? Investigation unfolded in his presence. He was party to it. General Manik Sabharwal, he is there. Rajan Raj is our lawyer, and he is the one who has sent the notice to those parties. They have partly responded in the sense that they are buying time. They want us not to proceed further and take legal action. That's what they have said. So some legal points he will be talking about it. Friends, I would like to narrate this story. That's all. I think that would be a good thing to do. That was 21st, 22nd night, 1991. And then it all came to light next morning, 22nd May 1991. I had just joined CBI about 20 days back. Prior to that, I was OSD to Home Minister. That time, Chandrasekhar was Prime Minister come Home Minister, and Mr. Amod K Kanth happened to be MOS. In that capacity, I had a chance to go to Tamil Nadu, assisting them. And that was the time, because of these LTTE activities and huge violence taking place in Tamil Nadu, Tamil Nadu came in President suit, partly because of these incidents. I mean, prior to Rajiv Gandhi case, that was in January 1991. And then I joined CBI, as I said, 5 months later in May 1991. 22nd May 1991, that is soon after, I was at the airport attending somebody. I got a call from Mr. Vijay Karan, Director CBI. Mr. Vijay Karan told me that Amod, you have to go to Madras. It was Madras that time, not Chennai. And he said that you are supposed to lead the investigation, as DIG investigation, as he called it. Since Mr. Vijay Karan was Commissioner of Police Delhi earlier, and he had seen my work for long 5 years, and I had a track record of investigating Lalit Makan case, Arjun Das case, General Vaidya case, and variety of terrorist cases. So he thought it appropriate that I should be leading this team. So along with explosive expert Mr. Sabharwal, who joined soon after, Mr. Amit Verma, who is one of the main investigators in this case, who happened to be from Tamil Nadu, who joined me at Madras airport. And there is something called Central Forensic Science Lab, CFSL. The experts of CFSL also joined hands. So a complete team, we arrived on 23rd. And on 23rd, we took over this case. The formal taking over of the case was between 23rd and 24th of May 1991. The system is that FIR which gets registered in the local place has to be converted into a regular case by CBI. It is called RC. So our RC got registered on 24th morning, and 23rd, 24th we took over the case. When we reached Tamil Nadu, that is 50 kilometers from Madras to Sri Perumbudur, where Rajiv Gandhi was assassinated, the scene of crime was intact. If you look at this entire episode, you will find something very, very outrageous. There is a gentleman called Mr. Chandrasekhar, who was the director of Tamil Nadu Forensic Science Lab. He is being projected as if he was the investigator, as if he was running the show. None of it. Manik is here. In fact, Manik Sabharwal was far more important than Chandrasekhar there also, and that's why he is here. The scene of crime was totally intact. Let me inform you. Mr. R.K. Raghavan, who was that time IG of that area, who became a very celebrated director CBI subsequently, you might have heard his name, Mr. R.K. Raghavan. Mr. R.K. Raghavan himself was protecting the scene of crime. The scene of crime was not allowed to be disturbed at all. The only thing which had happened, that there was a camera lying near the dead body of someone who was very close to Rajiv Gandhi and Dhanu, who killed herself to kill Rajiv Gandhi. And that camera was got picked up by Mr. R.K. Raghavan. It was sent to a local photographer. It was taken out in the dark room, and 10 photographs were developed out from that camera's film, which was exposed already. And those were the crucial photographs which ultimately led to this case being worked out, and ultimately a lot of things happened. That was Hari Babu's camera. the famous Hari Babu's camera, if you follow this case. So this particular thing was there, and we had no knowledge about it. That such and such photograph has been developed already. We had no knowledge. 24th morning, to our utter surprise, to our great surprise, we see in the Hindu newspaper, nothing against Hindu, they published it because they got it. The Hindu newspaper publishes the photograph of this suicide bomber, this girl who was later found to be Dhanu, her name came out to be Dhanu, and her photograph was very much there in the newspaper, even before the local police, that is Tamil Nadu police or the CBI had taken over. It was clandestinely given to the newspaper by Mr. Chandrasekharan, the director of the Tamil Nadu Forensic Science Lab, causing a big setback to the case. That is how it started. Now, in the very beginning, I would like to narrate that as a matter of policy, CBI officers, they follow a process. And I was a thoroughgoing CBI officer and I used to investigate many cases. So we decided to find out the previous cases of similar character. And we learned that on 15th of June 1990, that is 11 months prior to this incident, there was a very, very sensational case called K. Padmanabha case. In fact, as you know that Prabhakaran, who was the chief of LTTE, he had a rival called K. Padmanabha. And Padmanabha happened to be the chief of another organization called EPRLF. And EPRLF, we were protecting. Government of India was protecting EPRLF because Padmanabha was extremely violent, LTTE was extremely violent, and they were not violent, they were peace-loving kind of people, so they were kept in Madras. Now, Prabhakaran got Padmanabha killed on 15th June 1990. It was a very sensational crime. Nearly 15 persons were killed, 12 persons were killed on that scene of crime. There was bomb blast, explosion was there, firing was there. After that, when these people were going away, that is the person who led it, that one-eyed fellow, you must have heard about it, the main person was a fellow called Shivrasan, ultimately known to be Shivrasan, and he had one eye, because one eye he had lost in some bomb blast earlier, and he was the main person behind the entire thing. He was the main conspirator, main perpetrator, leading this entire gang. So what happened really, which we learned later, that he is trying to escape from scene of crime in an ambassador car. A little distance from there, Vilupuram is a place where Padmanabha, where a gentleman called Thomas Charles was going along with his mother in his Maruti van, and Shivrasan and team who killed Padmanabha, and they were going there, they hijacked his vehicle, on the way dropped him there, and they went away and finally escaped to Jaffna. I mean, this is what happened. So this particular case, we learned about it very soon. I mean, within 2-3 days of the incident, we learned about it. One Mr. Raghvachari, who was the DYSP. I am telling it all because in my book it is all written. This book I published, Bloomsbury. So Raghvachari had told us, given the name of that witness who was picked up by the same people and taken to a distance and deserted them somewhere. So that is what it happened, and then it exploded and they died. This is what it is. I mean, this is how it happened. This case got worked out subsequently. By the time Mr. Kartikeyan and Mr. Vijay Karan and Datta came from Sri Lanka, we had enough evidence for it. Since this case became so important, a lot of information started pouring in the Mallige. Mallige was the name of the place where we had our office. And actually there was a mismatch. The problem arose that Mr. Kartikeyan in its own wisdom decided to divide the team in two parts. So my part was, I was DIG investigation, and the other was DIG tracking and intelligence. He is also known as Amod Raju, an outstanding officer of the Jammu and Kashmir cadre, who was also inducted to this team, like Mr. Kartikeyan came to this team. Along with me were 4 outstanding officers. Mr. Amit Verma, a brilliant officer about whom a lot of good things have been said in this episodes also. The second was Mr. Tyagarajan, who was very important. Mr. Tyagarajan is the person who recorded the Tada confessional statements. You must have heard recently in a case in Bombay, what has happened, that train blast cases, where the High Court has rejected Tada's statements because torture was there. Because they did not find Tada's statements to be in order, because it was extracted forcibly from them. Here Mr. Tyagarajan was not at all part of the investigation, because the part of investigation where I have mentioned it. Amit Verma was there. The other gentleman was Manoharan. He was there, and Mr. C. Subramaniam. These three IPS officers, and the fourth was K. Raghuttaman, who was the chief investigating officer. So this team did exceedingly well. The only gap was that since the intelligence team and the tracking team, which was working parallelly, they were getting information, and that information was somehow not getting shared with our team. So this gap really created some problem, and the first person who could be arrested was the mother of Nalli, who was the main person ultimately, and she was called Padma. She was a nurse, and the father was a sub-inspector of police. Mother and brother, they got arrested on 11th of June, and 14th of June, Nalli was arrested along with Murugan. Now the story is like this, that Prabhakaran, the top man of LTTE, along with a character called Portu Aman happened to be the intelligence chief of LTTE, and a lady called Akila happened to be the Tigress chief. They together decided to kill Rajiv Gandhi. The decision to kill Rajiv Gandhi goes back to the time when in 1987, Rajiv Gandhi was Prime Minister, and Rajiv Gandhi decided to intervene in Sri Lanka affairs on account of Jayawardene, and IPKF went to Sri Lanka. A lot of wrong things happened, and there was a lot of problem with IPKF, and then it was believed that if Rajiv Gandhi comes back to power in 1991, again he will do the same thing. So Prabhakaran and team LTTE thought that his coming back to power would be disastrous, and in all probability Rajiv Gandhi was going to become the Prime Minister of India. He was already ascending in his popularity, and then it was very clear that he is going to become Prime Minister, and hence Prabhakaran decided to kill him. Prior to that, he had his own problems. IPKF के खिलाफ ये वो उनकी शिकायतें थी, वो एक अलग कहानी है. So ultimately, this is what happened. So Prabhakaran, Portu Aman, Akila, they selected Shivrasan because he had killed Padmava earlier, number one. Secondly, he was a known person who knew how to really carry exercises like this, and he was a known person and very close to Prabhakaran. Now Shivrasan brought three girls. He brought three girls to be used as suicide bombers. If one fails second, otherwise third. So Dhanu, unfortunately for them, or unfortunately, Dhanu killed herself and killed Rajiv Gandhi. Had Dhanu not succeeded, along with Shivrasan was a girl called Shubha, who was traveling with him. And finally they committed suicide, as you know, after nearly 3 months. And the third girl happened to be Athirai. Athirai was a very young girl, hardly 17-18 years old, and Athirai was kept in Delhi. There was a safe house in Delhi where Athirai was kept, and the objective was that in case this entire operation fails in Tamil Nadu, Athirai with his safe house and a grandfather along with her and some other people will be doing the same job here in Delhi. And it is about Athirai whom I arrested. You must have seen that I am sitting over the young girl's body, I am arresting her. It is that Athirai in Delhi because she had a safe house in Delhi. And we learnt about that she will be coming, and we tracked her from railway station to a Pahalganj hotel. I was there all night, but it was my team. I never sat like this, never behaved like this. So Athirai was there.
Women team.
Women team was also there. So this is how it happened. And the case gradually got worked out, except that the entire process of hunt, which they are trying to say, there was nothing wrong in the investigation. Investigation went on very well. We were able to collect enough evidence. There was a gap in the intelligence and information being acted upon, on account of which some of these people started going away, and Shivrasan along with Shubha, along with Murugan, along with Nalli, all these people started moving all over the team. Finally, to cut it short, this case was charge sheeted and they were party to it for nearly 1 year. I was in Madras. 1992 the case was charge sheeted. 1994 the trial started, and trial went on in 1998. In 1998, the Tada court decided to give death sentence to all 26 persons. It is very strange. I mean, personally I was never convinced about it. Because among these people, I would say that only 7 persons or 5 persons could be said to be privy to the conspiracy. And conspiracy is not something done in the open. So anyway, the court decided to give death sentence to 26 persons. Out of 41 persons who had been charge sheeted, 12 had died already. Okay. And 3 persons had named Prabhakaran, Akhila and Potuaman. They were declared absconders because they were in Jaffna, they could not be arrested. So it happened. Now when the matter went to Supreme Court, the Supreme Court of India finally in 1999 decided to uphold the death sentence of only 4 persons. 4 persons, Nalli being one of them, because Nalli was the person who had actually harbored them. Nalli had gone along with Shubha and Shivarasan to Sri Perumbudur. Nalli was throughout along with Shubha and Dhanu, and she helped Dhanu in preparing herself to become a bomber. So Nalli's participation was very, very deep into it, and she was deep into conspiracy, and that's why Nalli was also given death sentence. And as you know, that Priyanka Gandhi and Mrs. Gandhi's family decided to give them amnesty, and Nalli came out of it. So Nalli was one of them. Shantan. And she was pregnant. And she was pregnant because she got married to Murugan. Murugan is another character. Then Shantan is a character who came along with Shivarasan, along with Dhanu and Shubha, when they came in a boat after designated to do this kind of work by Prabhakaran long back. And they came on exactly 30th of April 1991. Can you imagine that 30th April they land up and 21st May they kill Rajiv Gandhi in such a short time. And the kind of conspiracy, the kind of implementation they did about their plan is something unthinkable. It was really a unique case from that point of view. So the 4 persons were, their death sentence was accepted by the Supreme Court of India, and other 4 persons, 4 persons, and other 3 persons, they were given life sentence. And ultimately, out of 26 persons, besides these 4 persons and 3 persons, rest all were let off. Because Supreme Court of India thought that they were not party to conspiracy. At best, they were harbourers. At best, they had some role to play. So Supreme Court of India let them off. It's most unfortunate though that in a case like this, ultimately in 2022, because of delay in the processes by the governor and by, let's say, President of India, everybody was let off. So whoever were surviving in this case, they were let off. The most unfortunate part, which has been portrayed in this series also, was the hunt, as they call it. And the hunt concluded on 19th of August. That is 21st of August, 21st, 22nd, Rajiv Gandhi was killed, and 19th of August, all these people, 7 of them, 7 persons who were wanted criminals, they got closeted in a house near Bangalore. Kunankutte is the place, name of the place. In Kunankutte, they were closeted in a house. Unfortunately, there was a delay in raiding the house, which is shown in this web series also. And then all these guys committed suicide. All of them. Shivarasan shot himself. All others took cyanide, and they died. So the story was over. Friends, the point I am trying to make here is, without repeating whatever has been told by Ashita and by Nivedita, I stand by it. A lot of things are written in my press release, I stand by it, they are all very important. The point remains that it's outrageous. Not only that, they have insulted me, defamed me, brought down my image. My entire life has been different. You guys know, most of you, and you know who am I. Am I the person to do it? That's the basic question. Am I somebody who is going to torture? I have always stood against any kind of torture. I am a known human rights defender in my career. I run this organization, Prayas, which looks after thousands and thousands of people. So it's a very different kind of situation. And as Ashita explained, the law of defamation very much applies on it. This is what it is. I would like Manik to add to whatever I have said. His experience, because he was very much there, Manik Sabrawal. General Sabrawal is a celebrated army officer, retired as general, and he was there with us.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Major General Manik Sabrawal. I was at that time when the assassination of Mr. Rajiv Gandhi took place, the officer commanding of the bomb disposal unit of NSG, the National Security Guard. So, a couple of days or maybe 3 days later, I was asked to move to Madras, where I was asked to carry out the investigation of the IED that was used to assassinate Mr. Rajiv Gandhi. So when we reached there at the site, a lot of the evidence had been cleared, but still there was a lot of evidence which was at the site. I found a lot of ball bearings, found wires and pieces of the toggle switch. And subsequently I went to the CFL laboratory, and over there I saw the jacket which was used by the bomber Dhanu and other pieces of evidence. We also visited the morgue where we saw the body of Dhanu, where the body consisted, there was no torso, it's just the legs and the hand. Mr. Amod Kanth was also there at that time. And I came to a conclusion that the device which was used was a suicide vest. And just to explain to you that an IED, that is an improvised explosive device, I'm sure you all must be knowing by now what it is, consists basically of 4 parts. This is the basic part without which you cannot make an IED. One is the explosive, the power source or the battery, the detonator. Without the detonator, the explosive will not explode. And finally, the switch or the initiating mechanism. So this suicide vest was made, in my view, the explosive was the SFG grenade, that is the grenade which consists of
Singapore
ball
fragmented, Singapore fragmented grenade.
Yeah, Singapore fragmented grenade.
SFG.
Now the Indian other grenades, the body itself causes the fragments when it explodes. But this grenade of this, which is manufactured in Singapore, it's a plastic body and it has ball bearings inside with the explosive, which consists of a mixture of TNT and RDX. And in my view, they might have used a grenade and strapped it onto the vest because it's easier to carry when you put a grenade in the vest in the pocket rather than a cumbersome explosive. It's not easy to make an explosive device unless it's a plastic explosive, embed the ball bearings inside and then strap it onto yourself. It is not an easy contraption. But a grenade is very simple to just put into the pocket and detonate it at your own convenience. And the switch which was used in this case was 2 toggle switches. One was the arming device, toggle switch. That was, the device was safe right through. When the arming switch was switched on, the device was armed, ready to get detonated or initiated. And when the suicide bomber bent to touch Mr. Rajiv Gandhi's feet, she switched on the other switch and, as Mr. Amod Kanth said, detonated the device. So that's, and of course the power source in my view was a 9-volt battery because you need at least that much of power to initiate safely with no accident, to make sure that it gets detonated, need approximately about 9 volts of battery power to detonate the device. So this, I came back and gave my written report. In the meanwhile, I gave my reports to Mr. Amod Kanth. I was working very closely with Mr. Amod Kanth and his team. I was reporting to him. In fact, we were staying in the same room together. We used to discuss all matters together. I was privy to what all used to happen during the investigation. So that was my role as far as the investigation was there, but I am not in the serial of the hunt. The investigation which has been shown has been carried out by Mr. Chandrasekhar, who was the CFL director of Tamil Nadu, and in the serial of hunt, it has been shown that he was the main investigator as far as the explosive device is concerned. But unless you know what IEDs is all about and unless you know what explosives is all about, it's very difficult to, give your expert comments on explosive devices. I was one of the first people to be trained in the country in neutralization of explosive devices abroad, and I came back and we trained a lot of other agencies and organizations, and it's not easy to deal with this subject of not only deal with the subject of ID but to deal with IDs itself. Thank you. That's all I have to say.
The legal aspect as well as the narrative that has been shown in the web series has been dealt with in detail. But yes, after watching the series, I did find that it tends to offend and defame not only CBI officers at a personal level, but also the institution as a whole in terms of the investigative practices it adopts, and it can and the fact that the real names have been used and makes it imperative that creative liberties that are being taken do not cross a limit. And that is what has happened in this case, that when you use real names and when you deal with real events, then at some stage you have to have the integrity of a documentary, and you cannot convert it into, say, a soap or a Netflix series for a simple entertainment. So that line has been crossed, and this requires to be remedied, because at various stages, at various levels, this series is offensive. Even in terms of national integrity, in terms of certain basic national values that we all have to adhere to as citizens, in terms of the political ideology that has been showcased, a violent political ideology, and it has been glorified. So all these are problematic, and maybe at a particular point of time, the courts of this country need to take a call as to whether this is permissible or not, because the fact that web series are not being regulated by the government has left this loophole where disinformation bordering on propaganda is being allowed to be streamed to global audiences. So that this needs to be taken care of. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I just need to add one more sentence, that whatever Mr. Amod Kanth has said, I vouch for it, that neither does Mr. Amod Kanth smoke, nor does he abuse, nor would he be a person who will mount on the lady who will be shown over there, and neither is he a person who is, who showcases torture. He is absolutely anti-torture. From what I know of Mr. Amod Kanth. And he is a thorough gentleman as far as, I can say. I've been with him, working with him for so many years. I'm also with him, and he was the chairman of the Domestic Workers Sector Skill Council, and I was the CEO working under his guidance, and I've seen him very closely. All that which has been portrayed there is absolutely wrong, and I go 100% with Mr. Amod Kanth to have filed a suit against the makers of this web series.
Wow. Thank you, Manik, and Jasleen is sitting here. Jasleen is a
just to add a little thing. I think that the entire reason that they have shown that the character playing Mr. Kanth has mounted over this alternate suicide bomber is to prevent her from taking that capsule of cyanide. So that is the justification they have shown, but even then a person of the rank of Mr. Kanth would definitely not be required to do that. So
the lady police was there. Lady police was very much there. Now, coming from Jasleen Jassi, who is a veteran and he holds Guinness Book record in making films and documentaries like this for 40 years.
Yes.
Maybe 40 years.
Maybe
since,
more.
And maybe more since then we have known each other. As a police officer, he knows me. As a journalist and a very well-known filmmaker, I know him. Before two persons sitting here, Dr. Rajan Alan has come from USA all the way, and as someone, he can give a few words as to what do they think about it, because he's a viewer. The relatives and friends have a right to say. And Dilip Sharan, my brother-in-law, and he was himself CEO of one of the media houses. In fact, which channel was there?
Next called V-Sports.
D-Sports channel, he was heading it, so he knows the nuances of it. So briefly, they will say just one or two sentences, because Mr. Nagesh Kapnoor, in fact, Indian Express is sitting here. The Nagesh Kapnoor has given a very long interview, and in his long interview, he accepts everything. I mean, whatever we are saying, he accepts everything. There is nothing to explain. He is fully conscious. Like, he said that what excited me about the hunt was investigation. He himself says. Hunt of Rajiv Gandhi, etc. really happened 90 days. But he says that when this book was produced to him, he says, the material was given to Samir Nair, who is the head of the production company. About you are from Indian Express, is that correct? You must have read it, this particular article, which really is self-explanatory.
The issue is that it's a very ethical issue. How much do we stretch the fictionalization of a truth and pass it off as true? Because it borders that, between two fictions, the truth itself gets distorted. So, it has a huge implications, because history gets distorted, facts get distorted. The viewer reading it, seeing it, he has a different version of the truth, which is not the truth. So, it is very important, as somebody here on the dais said, that we must find a borderline, a regulation which defines what is the parameter to which we can go. In fact, it is very interesting that if you see in the 2019 Consumer Protection Act, government has made a very clear mandate that advertising cannot misrepresent. Now, it's a very important element. So, I am saying is that we must also define, because it has a huge bearing also on the character. See, one is that Mr. Kanth himself, his whole 40 years, 50 years of hard work gets discredited. The perception that completely gets distorted. It has got a larger ramification, not of the past, but also the future. Now, he represents an organization with whose face he is because of the certain values he represents, which is a value of human concern, values of rightness. Now, all this today there are many patrons and people supporting the organization based on the reputation he has built up. So, it has a huge financial and organizational risk that he carries. So, we must look at all this in perspective and then decide that where is the border that we have to look at it. If you see even the hunt, they may have passed out as a creative liberty, but between the creative liberty and the truth gets distorted. Now, if you see the end, while many of the parts are fictionalized, but the end of the series comes with a statement of facts. Now, any person not aware of it will presume it to be everything to be true. So, I leave it at this larger question, an ethical question. How much can truth be distorted in the name of creative liberties? And there must be some guiding lines, like in the advertising council that the government of India has indicated, that we draw a safe horizon for people to exist and truth gets validated by it. Thank you.
Mr. Kanth, for over 4 decades now, I have been working very, very closely on various health projects with Prayas. But as a general public, I can only say that there is accountability needs to be fixed, because as a general public, you believe in what you see. If it's a fiction, then obviously you can show anything you want. But if you are showing a fact, that again, what general public perceive, as Mr. Sharan said, that whatever you see, you think that this is the fact, this is what exactly happened. And we all know that Mr. Kanth, his personality, his aura, the things that he has done in his life. So obviously, showing and portraying a very important person like Mr. Kanth in the wrong way, in a wrong fashion, and especially the whole institution like CBI is absolutely wrong. And this should be, again, the movie makers, they should be made accountable for all the different things, the wrong things that they have showed in the movie. So thank you so much.
Any other points, anyone? जैसे अबाउट होनी चाहिए ये सवाल
नहीं होना, बिल्कुल नहीं।
नहीं, उनको कंसल्ट करना चाहिए पहले।
आप तो बात ही नहीं किया।
कंसल्टेशन के अलावा तुम नाम यूज कर रहे हो।
That is
too bad. Amod Kanth, Rekha, you are using these names.
कंसल्टेशन इज
You are nobody, please. अभी तो सर आप जब वो सीरीज चल चुकी है तब आप कोर्ट में जा रहे हैं। मुझे तो पहले पता होता तो मैं आपके बिहाफ पे पहले चला गया। What is this happening? ये जितने ऐप आ रहे हैं नए नए, उसमें क्या शालीनता नाम की तो चीज ही नहीं है। IND मिनिस्ट्री क्या कर रही है मुझे नहीं पता, बिकॉज आई ऑल्सो बिलोंग टू लेकिन क्या करके रहे, जब पानी आपका ऊपर निकल जाता है तब आप इसको भी बंद कर रहे हैं, उसको भी बंद कर रहे हैं, उसको भी बंद, लेकिन आप देख रहे हैं उसमें कंटेंट जा क्या रहा है। कंटेंट कोई तो होगा, कोई तो जब तुम टेप या CD या जो whatever मटेरियल आप सबमिट करते हैं तो कोई तो ऑफिसर होंगे ना तो उसको एक बार देखते होंगे।
इन्होंने खुद ही कहा है कि
जी सर,
हैदराबाद ब्लूज में 91 कट्स थे
जी,
चूंकि वो फिल्म थी और सेंसर बोर्ड थी, इसमें कोई कट नहीं है, किसी ने देखा ही नहीं।
तब मुझे एक बात नहीं समझ आ रही, सेंसर बोर्ड काम करेगा, IND मिनिस्ट्री काम करेगी या वो डायरेक्टर इंफॉर्मेशन काम करेगा, कौन उसको अप्रूव करेगा? जस्ट लेट मी नो दैट थिंग। नहीं, you are using the name Amod Kanth as DIG CBI and then you are naming Rekha as a Rekha Bhabi. You are naming the real names. It is not done. अभी तो सर मेरे हिसाब से तो अमोद खान बहुत लेट हो गया कोर्ट में जाने, ये बहुत पहले हो चुका होना चाहिए था मेरे हिसाब से।
थैंक यू।
Was there any genuine attempts?
Never. Nobody, and they say that they did not try to contact, not even a call, not even a missed call, nothing like that. कोई contact नहीं, उन्होंने कभी कोशिश नहीं किया। तो इसलिए जितने लोगों को पोर्ट्रे कर, मैं अपनी बात नहीं कह रहा हूँ। अब अमित वर्मा एक आउटस्टैंडिंग ऑफिसर था, बेहतरीन इंसान था, और अमित वर्मा की इंटेलेक्चुअल कैपेसिटी हर आदमी जानता था। वो बहुत मशहूर ऑफिसर था तमिलनाडु कंट्री का, बहुत सोबर, बहुत डिग्निफाइड, और नहीं है वो अमित, इसलिए मैं उसको डिफेंड कर रहा हूँ इन एब्सेंशिया। तो जाहिर है कि किसी को कांटेक्ट नहीं किया।
The second question is, what are you seeking when you are sending a legal notice?
No, we have given them 15 days time. Rajiv, 15 days time दिया था आपने?
Yeah, I mean, so we have told them that we need remedial action, or we will approach both civil and criminal remedies, because defamation is both a civil as well as a criminal offence.
Part of the legal action, we can also intervene there or file a separate petition for regulation of online content. Although we have the IT Rules 2021, which govern the intermediaries, OTT platforms, but it's very big. So,
No, I think I'm very thankful. Mohini is a Supreme Court lawyer, and she is an advocate on record, and she qualifies and she can file the complaint directly. So I request Mohini do it. I think let's go ahead. She can do it.
we already have a
The material is there. We can find intervener in that, isn't it? An intervener can go to it. An intervener petition can be filed simultaneously that it is required. Considering this case, because see, it not only kind of defames and very wrongly portrays all the functionaries, officials. CBI very badly tarnishes. And who defends CBI? I have spoken to Director CBI, and I think we are going to take it with him. In fact, I have told him on it, Director CBI. He is also serious about it.
जो मैंने सुना, मैं उस हिसाब से आपसे पूछ रहा हूँ कि राजीव गांधी का जब असैसिनेशन होना था या हुआ, तो इंटेलिजेंस को ये रिपोर्ट थी और उन्होंने राजीव गांधी को ये कहा कि आप वहाँ नहीं जाएं। आई एम जस्ट आस्किंग सर, तो क्या उन्होंने कहा मेरी वहाँ पे पॉपुलैरिटी है, मैं वहाँ जाना चाहता हूँ, उन्होंने इंसिस्ट किया, तो क्या आप समझते हैं कि अगर वो वहाँ नहीं जाते तो उसमें कुछ बचाव हो सकता था और उनका वहाँ जाना एक असैसिनेशन हो गया, जो कि बहुत
इसीलिए मैंने इस किताब में नंबर 182 से लेके पेज नंबर जो इस पेज तक ये है 216, इसमें हमने राजीव गांधी केस, इसमें क्लियर करके लिखा है कि ये बहुत बड़ा इंटेलिजेंस आईबी को इंफॉर्मेशन थी एक बात की कि रघुवरम नाम का आदमी है, रघुवरम नाम था उसका, शिवराज का नहीं था, जो मैंने शुरू बताया कि पद्मावा की किलिंग में ये आदमी इन्वॉल्व है और वो जाफना चला गया और जाफना से वापस आ जाता है। तो सच पूछिए तो ये इंटेलिजेंस फेलियर बहुत बड़ा था मेरे हिसाब से।
इज इट अ फैक्ट?
इट्स अ फैक्ट। हम ये नहीं कहेंगे कि राजीव गांधी को इंफॉर्मेशन दी गई कि आप वहां पर्टिकुलरली मत जाओ, राजीव गांधी टारगेट थे, ये हर आदमी जान रहा है।
नहीं तो इंटेलिजेंस तो उनको बताएगी ना सर,
अब
ये फिर अगर इंसिस्ट करेंगे तो वो
आपस में ये तो लोगों को काफी ज्ञान था कि राजीव गांधी नंबर 1 टारगेट है एलटीटी, ये हर आदमी जानते हैं। और ये भी पता है कि एलटीटी के सबसे बड़े जो हिटमैन था शिवरासन, वो मार के चला गया, मैड्रास से मार करके ब्रॉड डे लाइट में पद्मावा को चला गया और वो वापस भी आ गए, ये भी पता चल रहा है कि वापस आ गए।
और उनको एक बट भी मारा था शायद वो श्रीलंका में एक
ये भी तो है ना कोऑर्डिनेशन, इंस्पेक्टर इज ट्राइंग टू पुश हर, you know that there was a girl called Kokila who wanted to sing a song. I mean, she prepared a poem, she wanted to read to Rajiv Gandhi. In that cover it happened. So I mean, these things have happened, but then if there was a proper check, and security check in that area.
So I would like to say that it was basically failure of the preventive measures on the part of the security agencies, and that is the government and the concerned government agencies as well. And there is one reason for me, which I just guessed within, and the agencies put in charge of investigation never they didn't have the liberty as well. They didn't, because there was a stories doing the rounds of Tamil Nadu government. Tamil Nadu government was also part of the conspiracy. That is the rumoring story. I am not going to confirm it. And the government in Tamil Nadu was in hand and glove with the Nitty people.
In my book and clarified that this case, Padmawa case and several other cases, very violent cases committed by LTTE, were not properly investigated during that time. And Shivrasan was very much the main character in Padmawa case, in this case also. So DNK, somehow an atmosphere was created where Prabhakaran became a hero. He was thought to be a hero. They thought he was an iconic figure. And let me inform you one thing more, very surprisingly. Even Rajiv Gandhi at one stage thought that he was a very interesting character. So that is what it is. So the Tamil cause, I mean, let us analyze it. Let us analyze politically that the cause of the Tamils cause in Sri Lanka, and they were heavily supported by Tamil Nadu. Very natural. But whether they supported this kind of violent act, there also they were lax. And that is why I told you that
because the entire
president rule was implemented.
Because the entire rehearsal of the operation, entire rehearsal of the rehearsal on the D-Day was done with very fantastic liberty.
सभी लोग आपको